Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tai Chi, a Taste of Tai Chi. I'm going to talk at you for a minute or so, sitting in my big old office chair here, then we'll get to work. Keep in mind that you need to mute your audio at your end. We don't want you talking at me while I'm trying to talk to you. The screen is in a situation so that I cannot see you, but I can see where I am in the room to keep myself in frame. We're going to do pretty much the same as we always do, with a couple of changes relating to mirror image and turning my back on you and stuff like that. So here's what I'm going to try to do. During our regular classes, it's normal for me to turn my back to you and do things in the same way that you're doing them to try to reinforce the movement directions. A lot of the time, on the other hand, I will be facing you as if I were teaching you, and I'm going to try to do some of the movements backwards so that they look normal to you. Okay, you're confused enough already? What that means is that you're going to have to pay close attention to which arms and legs that I'm using, because sometimes they'll be correct and sometimes they'll be absolutely wrong. I will try my best to make sure that you know when that's happening so that you are moving in the right direction. My guess is by the 6th or 7th week, we'll probably have it as normal as we can possibly make it. I understand that doing things mirror image is helpful to about 50% of the class and is absolutely awful to the other 50%. Sorry, we're going to do it both ways just to try to get everybody on the same line. So without further ado, I'm going to get rid of my comfortable old chair, get up, and we're going to do some Tai Chi.
Hey, Don, before you leave, the music is only hopping on when you're talking. So it might be best to pause it for now until we figure out a better fix for it.
Okay, I'm going to turn the music off.
Thank you, Don.
Off. Okay. Looks like I'm in frame, so get rid of my fuzzy slippers and we'll do some Tai Chi. The first thing that we're going to do is to get into what's called the Wu Ji position. To do that, your head should be upright, your chin should be tucked toward your body, your shoulders should be relaxed and rounded forward. Your tailbone should be tucked, your knees should be bent, and your feet should be together with all of your toes pointed in the same direction, which should be forward. You can look if you want, make sure. First thing we're going to do after that is to bow in. This is a traditional and ancient martial arts system. I am a traditional and ancient martial artist, so we're going to do it the traditional way. Your left hand becomes a willow palm. Your right hand becomes a fist. Your left foot is put forward, touching the toe. No weight on that left foot, by the way. Fold your left hand over the right fist. Keep your eyes up as you bow. We're in business. We'll do that at the end of the class as well. Okay. From here, we're going to do some warm-up exercises. All your weight's going to go on your left side. Pick up your right heel a little bit. If your balance is okay, pick up the foot, move it to the side, touch the floor, lower the heel further away, push the heel out to straighten your foot, center your weight and sink. The first exercise is called swinging arms. You're going to turn your bodies to the right, to the left, and repeat. Keep your knees bent, your torso, your hips start the process. Everything else just follows along. Okay, back to the Wuji position for double knee circles. Keep your body nice and upright as you lower your body to find your knees. Then we'll do 15 rotations in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If your knees are tired after you've done that, you need to do more of them. Your quadricep muscle group gets a little fatigued, and you need to just condition it up a little bit. Next up is my favorite stretch. It's called Touch the Earth and Hold the Sky. It has 6 steps. Number 1, bend the knees a little extra. Lightly interlace your fingers in front of your body. 2, keep your knees bent. Turn the palms up. Push enthusiastically toward the ceiling. 3, keep your knees bent. Go on the front half of your feet and stay there. 4, keep your knees bent. Push down with your right palm. Push up with the left. 5, keep your knees bent. Bring the top hand down. Point all your fingers forward. Push back. Okay, and 6, ease down and relax. 1, 2, push, push, push. 3, up on the front half of your feet. 4, this time it's a left push. 5, top hand down, point the fingers, pick up the fingertips and push back. And 6. 1, 2, 3, right push, pushing back, down. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Left push, pushing back, down. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Left push, pushing back, and down. My favorite stretch. Now we're going to do a horse stance followed by the tiger stretch. Your feet should now be a little wider than your shoulders. Should have a little bit of a bend in the knees, in fact, all the time. Okay, we're going to start by bending the knees a little extra. Bring your hands up even with your chest. They're not touching. Should be a gap of an inch or so between your fingertips. Shoulders should be nice and relaxed. So should your elbows. You now have 2 minutes of uninterrupted relaxation. Your breathing should be diaphragmatic, which means you're breathing with your belly muscles. And the breath should be nice and long and slow and deep. Just relax. Your tongue should be touching the soft palate behind your upper front teeth. Your breathing should be mostly through your nose. Long and deep and slow. That's 1 minute. That's 2 minutes. Now, holding this position, shift your weight onto the left side and sink a little. Pick up your right toes and turn them out, pointing to the side. Now shift your weight onto the right side and sink. Shift your weight back to the left side. Pick up the toes, turn the toes toward the front. Shift your weight onto the right side and sink. Pick up your left toes, turn them out to the side. Shift your weight right, sink again. Shift your weight back to the right, pick up the left toes. Turn your toes toward the front. Stand up a little, hands down, and relax. Okay. We do that every day, every class. Sometimes I might mix it up just because I feel like it. Sorry about that. Okay, we're going to do the form. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to announce the name of each posture and the numbers that are embedded within the posture, every posture that we move. I'm going to try to make sure that you can hear me. Again, we're making this up as we go along. I hope it works okay. So 12 postures, 2.5 minutes or so. For the veterans, you know how long this is going to take for you to really absorb everything. But it is a process and it will take a while. So for the new faces, please don't be discouraged because you're not understanding everything quickly. I've been doing this for 30 years and I still mess it up on a regular basis. So that is not even a consideration. Are you ready? I will assume so. Here we go. Preparation has 2 steps. Number 1, sink your weight onto the left side. Pick up your right heel a little bit and check your balance. If the balance is okay, make a T-step. Touch your toes to the floor with your right foot. Check your balance again. If your balance is there, pick up the toes, move the foot and touch the floor. Lower the heel part of the way, push the heel out to straighten the foot. Center your weight and sink. Initiation has 4 steps. Number 1, sink a little more as you raise your arms up to shoulder level. 2, sink the elbows to draw your hands a little closer. 3, sink the wrists. Push forward slightly with both hands at shoulder level. 4, turn the palms toward the floor. Push down to waist level as you straighten your body. Then relax your hands. Grasping the bird's tail to the right, shift your weight onto the left side. Embrace ball left. Make a T-step with your right foot. Step behind yourself as you step out. As you shift your weight, push the right forearm up, push the left palm down. Number 4, invert the hands. Drop the right elbow to turn the right palm up. Turn your body slightly away. Turn both hands over to the left and round your arms and shoulders, turning your hands so the tiger's mouths face each other. Now turn your body back to the left a little. Number 5 is the drag. Shift your weight onto the left side and sink. Then turn your body 90 degrees to the left. 6 is called release. Shift your weight to the right and extend your arms at shoulder level. Arms and hands should be relaxed. 7 is prepare to press. Turn the right palm so it faces your left shoulder. Bring the left hand high over the top. When it's even with your right wrist, drop it straight down on the inside, right in front of your body. Number 8 is the press. Your weight should be all the way on the right side so you can pick up your left toes. Now turn nose, belly button, and toes to the right. Turn your hands so the fingers point in opposite directions. Extend and separate your hands at shoulder level. 9 is the pull down. Grab the top of the swimming pool ladder. Shift your weight back onto the left side and sink. Slide your hands down that ladder all the way to the level of your hips. 10 is the push. Turn the palms up and raise your hands up to the shoulder level. As you shift your weight forward, point the fingertips up. Continue shifting your weight and push. Single whip is next. It has 5 steps. Number 1, shift and sink onto the left side. Turn nose, belly button, and toes 90 degrees to the left. Shift your weight onto the right side. Single whip, turn your toes. Make a T-step. Step behind and away from yourself. As you shift your weight forward, left hand high, turn and push. Wave hands like clouds, 9 steps. Shift right, sweep. Shift left, raise your hands up and down, turn the body, push. Bring your right foot in just a little. Shift your weight right. Turn your body. Push toward the corner. 7 is a scrape step. 8, shift your body, shift your hands. 9, pick up the right toes, turn the body, and push. Brush knee and push. Number 1, shift your weight forward, relax your hands. 2, shift back, make a T-step left, extend your hands toward the corner. 3, a left sit step. 4, as you shift your weight, bring your right hand close to your right eyebrow. Left hand is in front of your left thigh. 5, pick up the right toes, nose, belly button, toes, turn left, and push. Hands strung loop. 1, shift your weight forward, turn the right palm up. 2, shift and sink on the right side, left hand high, right hand at belly button level. 3, pick up the toes, put down the heel. Step back and repulse the monkey. 1, put the left foot down, push forward with your left hand, right hand to the right hip. 2, turn the body to the right, bring the right hand up on the right shoulder, turn a little more and thrust behind you with the right fingertips. 3, turn the left palm up, bring the right hand close to your right ear, step back weightlessly with your left. 4, shift and sink left, pick up the right toes, push forward with your right palm, left hand goes to the left. 5, turn your body left, bring the left hand up by your left shoulder, sink a little more, turn a little more, and thrust behind yourself with your left fingertips. 6, turn the right palm up, bring the left hand close to the left ear, step back weightlessly with the right foot. 7, shift and sink, pick up the left heel, push it in. Deflect, intercept, and punch. Number 1, turn the body to the right, drop your hand, bring the right hand high over the top, step back weightlessly with your left foot. Next, shift and sink, pick up your right heel, pivot on your right toes, make a big circle, pick up the toes, put down the heel, turn the right fist around. 5, turn the right toes out, shift and sink, turn to the right. Step forward with your left heel and prepare the fist. The right elbow on fist should be at shoulder level with your right fist forward. 7, as you shift your weight forward, pick up the toes, turn the fist eye up, turn the body, then punch past the open left palm. Shutting the door, 4 steps. Number 1, put your left wrist under the right elbow, relax your hands. 2, shift your weight onto the right side, pick up your left heel, put your hands in the crossed hands position. 3, pick up the left toes, put down the left heel, and separate the open hands. 4, shift your weight forward to push. Crossing hands has 7 steps. 1, shift your weight and sink on the right side, right wrist on top of the left one, both hands relax. 2, turn your body. 3, shift your weight, pick up the toes, put down the heel, separate the open hands. 5, shifting to the right, crouch over the right side, gather the hands. 6, shifting left, stand up on the left side, hands go back to crossed hands position. 7, center your weight and sink. Conclusion has 4 steps. Number 1, turn both palms toward the floor. Right hand should be on top. 2, push down and separate your hands as you straighten your body. 3, shift your weight to the right side, pick up the left toes and correct your left foot as necessary. 4, shift your weight onto the left side and sink. Pick up the right foot, bring the right foot in to meet the left one, and stand quiet. Okay, I know that there's a lot of details that you lost on that, so what I'm going to do now is to do them reverse image. In other words, I'm going to do it backwards so that I'm going in the correct direction to match you and explain everything, at least for the first 4 or 5 or 6 postures. Okay, so we start from the Wuju position. First thing you're going to do, we use this as an opening, as a getting ready position for some exercises, all kinds of stuff. It's called preparation because that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to shift your weight onto the left side. Time out. Let's talk about shifting your weight. On the bottom of your foot, in about the geographical center of your foot, is a place called the bubbling well. It's a reference point. What it is a place where if you put your weight there, you will be as stable on that foot as possible. And logically thinking, if you're going to put all of your weight there and do something else with the other foot, then you need to understand where that balance point is. The way that you can find it pretty easily is by putting your feet, say, hip width apart, and then by just rocking a little forward and a little back, you're going to feel a place where your weight is more centered. Let's see if I can show you. Let me turn sideways a little bit. Okay, I'm rocking forward, the weight's on my toes, rocking backward, the weight's on my heels. You want to find the place that's in between that gives you the most balance that you can achieve. Another factor of that is how wide apart your feet are. That's important for lateral stability because if your feet are very, very close together, it's like standing a 2x4 on end. It only has a little bit of surface to be able to be balanced with. But we want it to be a little better than that, so we want it to be a little wider too. So now try rocking your body back and forth. See if you can find where that bubbling well might be. You have to be conscious of that bubbling well position all the time. When you shift your weight, you don't ever want to go past that bubbling well. And the distance that you step, if you're way out here, makes a difference in where you're going to be able to contact and find your bubbling well correctly. So be aware of that. It doesn't come easy and it will take a while before you're really comfortable doing that, but you always have to really pay attention for it. Along with that, you need to keep your knees bent. You need to keep your shoulders relaxed. You need to keep your shoulders rounded forward because what you're doing is trying to get your center of gravity to be as in line and as compatible with your movements as you possibly can. If you stand up straight, your weight is pretty much basically on your heels. If you lean forward, then you find yourself with all your weight on your toes. That's not good either. So in order to adjust that, what we do is to relax and round our back, sink a little bit, and it moves our center of gravity a little more forward, which is more in line with your bubbling well, and it's a pretty good attempt to get everything to be more balanced. So control of your balance is a really big deal in Tai Chi. Okay, so let's take a look at the first 4 or 5 postures. Remember, I'm doing it backwards, just so that we're going to be moving in the same directions. So don't worry too much about which arms and legs I'm using, just worry about the direction and the positioning of the respective arms and legs, okay? Let's see what we got. So you're in the Wuji position, remember that? So your head is upright, your chin is tucked toward your body, shoulders are relaxed and rounded forward. Tuck your tailbone, bend your knees, feet are close together with all your toes pointing forward. Okay, first you're going to have to shift your weight onto the left side and sink in order to be as solid as possible. At the same time, you pick up your right heel just a little bit, and now you check your balance. If the balance is good, go to a tiptoe position. I mean, really a tiptoe position, and check your balance again. If you're still under control, keep your toes pointed down, pick up the knee, move the foot, and gently touch the floor. Lower your heel part of the way to the floor and push it out. You want to try to make your feet parallel when you're done with the posture. Now center your weight and sink. When you hear the word sink, it means everything from the top of your head all the way down, including mentally. So you're thinking that you're getting closer to the floor. You're thinking that you're getting more into a balanced position. So think sink. Okay, that's number one. Let's do it again. Preparation in 2 steps. 1, 2. Very nice. Next one up is called initiation. It has 4 steps. The good news is your feet don't have anything to do. The bad news is the rest of your body's got a lot of things to do. Number 1, sink a little extra as you slowly let your arms float up to shoulder level. Your hands should be shoulder wide and shoulder high. Number 2, sink the elbows to draw your hands just a little closer. Not much. See, my hands are still pretty extended. I don't want you in here. I call that the begging puppy dog pose. Don't do that. Leave them out like 80% or so extended. Number 3 says sink the wrists to raise your fingers. What you're doing is pushing forward with the heels of your hands, and the fingers just kind of move up out of the way. It's a push with the bottom part of your hands. Finally, you're going to push down, but you can't push down unless your palms are facing down. So turn the palms to the horizontal position, and as you push down to waist level, raise your body to a comfortable position, then relax your hands. Let's do those first 2 again. So back to your Ruji position. Preparation in 2 steps. 1, 2. Initiation in 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that feel? The next one is a buster. The next one is called grasping the bird's tail to the right. It's got 10 different steps. Count them. 10 different steps. Also, the steps have to be coordinated. Okay, this is the first one. It's a real challenge in that regard. When I say coordinated, it doesn't mean that things are in lockstep. It doesn't mean things are exactly timed, because there's a little lead and a little lag with everything. And you have to sort of acquire that knowledge by just practicing and being checked by somebody that knows it a bit better than you do. So from the end of initiation, first, shift your weight left and sink a little. Embrace ball on the left side of your body. Time out. Let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, so it's the middle of August and you're headed down the shore. Okay. Halfway down there, somebody figures out that you forgot the beach balls at home. You gotta have a beach ball when you go down the shore. So you see a 7-Eleven up on the side of the road, and you pull in there to buy a beach ball. Just as soon as you walk in the door, you see this big cylindrical wire rack full of beach balls. Well, you have to find the one that is just right for you. So what happens, in a minute, what happens is that you're going to get a beach ball that fits your body. The size of the beach ball is from your shoulder to your hip. So it's a pretty good sized beach ball. It doesn't weigh anything, so you don't have to worry about getting a death grip on the thing. You need to stay relaxed. What that means is that your top arm has got to be nice and loose and floppy. The bottom arm has got just enough strength to hold the beach ball up. No death grips on it, okay? And when I say embrace ball left, you have a left, you have a center, and you have a right side of your body. So you're embracing the beach ball left. At the same time, you're going to make what we call a T-step. The T-step means that you've taken the foot that was simply here, going to turn the knee 90 degrees away and bring your heel in to touch your leg just above your ankle. Yeah, that's a T-step. The next one is a kind of a critical move. It's called a sit step, S-I-T, sit step. And when you make the step, you're not going to step 90 degrees sideways. You need to step behind yourself. The reason is we're going to end up in a position where we have to have some stability, so your feet have to be separated side to side. The next piece of this, as we shift our weight forward, we're going to bring our right forearm straight up, push down with our left palm. The forearm is where your focus is, and it should be the farthest part of your body in the direction that you're going. You also need to be careful about how far you go, because you don't want to go past your bubbling well. Your weight needs to be right on top of that bubbling well. Okay. Next up is the dreaded invert the arm. So drop your right elbow, turning the right palm up. Turn your body away just enough to make your fingers point toward the wall. Now turn both hands over to the left and round your shoulders and arms, turning your hands so the tiger's mouths face each other. Hold that position while I talk about your tiger's mouth. This is your tiger's mouth, from the tip of your index finger to the tip of your thumb. You got two of them, and they're going to be pointing toward each other, except they're separated a bit. I'll explain what this is about in a bit. Now, turn your body back toward me just a bit. The idea here is that your hands need to clear your hip as you pull yourself back in a drag. So you shift your weight back onto the left side, turn your body back toward me. Your hands should be right in front of your belly. Next, this is called a release. We're going to shift our weight back to the right, extend our arms at shoulder level. Arms and hands need to be nice and relaxed. Okay. 7 is the press. Turn your right hand so it faces your left shoulder and push that arm away a little bit. Take your left hand and bring it high over the top. When it's even with the bottom wrist, bring it down on the inside of that wrist. Okay, you see my weight is on the front foot. Yours should be too. And remember, don't go past your bubbling well, and make sure that you have sunken. Okay? So your weight's on the forward leg so you can pick up the back toes. As you turn, bring the toes with you. Now turn the hands so that the fingers point in opposite directions. Extend and separate your hands. 9 is called the pull down. Grab the top of an imaginary swimming pool ladder. This is shoulder level. Shift your weight back onto the left side and sink. Slide your hands all the way down that ladder, all the way down to hip level. 10 is the push. Turn your palms up and raise your hands up even with your shoulders. As you shift your weight forward, point the fingertips up, continue shifting your weight, and push. Okay, time out. Relax for a second. Just to remind you, if you have any questions at all about what we're doing, my email is available to you. You may also go to my website, which will tell you more than you want to know about Tai Chi. And it also has a couple of videos of the form that we're practicing. Yeah, they're somewhat older. This wasn't there, and I probably had more hair at that point, but it's the same stuff. So you can check the website, donmadson.blogspot.com, or email me for any questions that you might have. Okay, so let's do those first three postures again. Super, super slow. The idea is if you can control your own body, you could eventually control somebody else's if you practice enough. But the other side of this is, for health reasons, this just cannot be beat. Just to mention that Harvard Med and the Mayo Clinic thinks that this is the best set of exercises you can ever do. So, you know, that's a pretty good recommendation. Okay. Muji positions, please. Preparation. 1, 2. Initiation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn the left toes. 8, 9, 10. How'd that work out? Okay. Want to do it again? Okay, let's do it again. Wuji positions, please. Preparation. Initiation. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. Pick up the left toes. And relax. Okay, we're going to go to the next posture. That's called a single flip. I'm doing that backwards as well. So let's go into the position that we just finished. Okay, so shift your weight onto the back foot, turn 90 degrees. Shift your weight to the back foot, reach out, make a hook with your right hand. Your left hand goes to your right hip. Your left foot is in a T-step position. Step out and to the side. As you shift your weight forward, bring your left hand up to guard your face. Your weight is now on the front foot, so you can pick up the back toes. As you turn your body to the front, bring your left hand close into your left shoulder. Then turn the hand and push forward. Single whip. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the pieces and parts of the two tough ones that we've run into. That would be grasping the bird's tail to the right and single whip. Let me explain a little bit about what's going on. Tai Chi is a martial arts system. This is one way to practice the various kinds of self-defense movements that you make. There are quite often things that are left unshone. The preparation for some of the things that happen are really not practiced all that visibly, okay? So when we go from initiation, watch where my feet are. When we go from initiation to the first thing in grasping the bird's tail, What it doesn't show you is that we've already done a ward off, grasp the wrist of the person who tried to punch us, and pulling it back a little bit. Because what we're going to do next is to step into the space there, turn the wrist, and do what's called an arm bar. It's like what happens when somebody grabs your wrist and forces it down, puts their arm behind yours, and they can kind of pick you up like a lever by using that arm as a lever. So we've already done that, but it doesn't really show it in the practice movement. So shifting to the left, embrace fall left, a T-step right. Okay, so we've got this arm bar locked up, and we're about to do the part that locks up the elbow. So as we step out, we move forward and just pull our right forearm straight up. So what I've done is to put my right arm behind somebody's elbow and push down with the other hand to lock up their arm. Okay, now we want to turn our hands over on that arm to keep that elbow locked up as we do further things. So I turn my hand and turn the wrist and just put my hand on top of the arm, pushing down on the back of the elbow, while my other hand has got the wrist under control. Now by shifting my weight and using my hip or my torso, I can turn that person around. What I'm going to try to do is called a press, which is a two-handed strike, one after the other. But the person we're dealing with knows what's going on, so he will spread my arms. So I'm going to do this part. And as I try to do the press, he separates them. But that's okay, because I'm going to grab his forearms just above the elbow, shove back, and pull him down. Well, if anybody has got their arms locked up and they're in a position like this in front of somebody else, that's probably a really bad idea. So what I'm going to try to do is to pull away, okay? And as I do, I'm just going to help them go. Does that make sense? Probably not, but it will. So let me show you the posture, nice and slow, and see if you can imagine doing those self-defense movements that I just did. Okay, so I've already grabbed the wrist. I'm stepping out. I'm locking up the elbow. Turning my hands over onto the top of the arm as I turn the arm over. Pulling that person off center and turning him to get him out of balance. Prepare to press. I'm separated. I pull him down. Then I push. Okay. Did that make sense, I hope? Okay. Got to keep within frame. It's hard to see. Okay, so for the newer folks in the class, I know this is confusing, frustrating, all kinds of negative kinds of thoughts that you have about it. Just let me point out that it's got a history of something like 2,500 years, and millions of people have practiced it over those years. And like I said, Harvard Med and the Mayo Clinic thinks it's wonderful. So it's worth learning the process. It's worth practicing it, whether or not you have any particular level of expertise, because it's really not how well you perform it, it's your intentions. The intentions that somebody would use as a self-defense application are the very same intentions that you use to try to do the form correctly. Excuse me. It's really about purposeful movement. It's really about looking ahead to the thing that you're trying to do and then using your entire mind to try to get it done. Okay, it's the same kind of attention to detail, let's say, a watchmaker or a diamond cutter or a surgeon might use. Their focus is really, really very, very closely pointed towards the job to do. And because Tai Chi is very confusing, it's going to take you a while, so don't give up on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on those first 4 postures that we practiced. Okay, we'll do those a couple of times. And then we're getting kind of close to the end of the class, so we'll go ahead and we'll do the entire form one more time after this. But for now, Wuji position. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and rounded forward. Make sure your knees are bent and you're sinking towards your bubbling well. Okay. Preparation in 2 steps. 1, 2. Initiation in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn your left toes. 8, 9, 10. Single whip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How'd that work out? Anybody out there starting to feel like they're doing Tai Chi? Keep in mind, it's going to take a while, but it's very, very good for you. And the only guarantee I ever make is that you're going to feel better at the end of the class than when you started. Works every time. Okay. Okay. Let me remind you that if you have questions, you may feel free to email me. Please go into the website at donmadson.blogspot.com, all small letters, and poke around. And if that generates more questions, just go ahead and email me some more. Next up on the agenda is the whole form again. Okay, I'm going to turn my back so that we're moving in the right direction. I'm sorry again that we don't have a reverse image viewing system on my tablet. It just isn't there. I think it's a function of being an Android tablet. I don't know. But I spent a long time looking for ways to do it, and it's just not there. So I will turn my back, and we'll be going in the same direction. Worry about the footwork more than you worry about what we're doing with our hands. The footwork is most important. And let me stress again that when we step out to the side for any reason, we don't step out to the side, but we step behind ourselves. That means when you shift the weight and turn again, that your feet are separated a little ways. Ideally, they should be separated about hip level, about hip width, I should say. A little more is okay. A little less, you really don't want to go much less than that. Okay, so let's try this. 12 posture taste of Tai Chi. Okay, Wuji position. Hold that pose while I turn around. Preparation. initiation. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. Single whip. Wave hands like clouds. Brush, knee, and push. Hands strum the lute. Step back and repulse the monkey. Deflect, intercept, and punch. Shutting the door. Crossing hands. Conclusion. And there you have it. A taste of Tai Chi. I think this was class number 3. Again, reminder, feel free to email me with any questions. Go to the website and take a look at the videos and browse around and see what else you might want to find out in there. And just stay the course. It will get easier. No, it never gets easier. It will get more familiar, which is kind of like getting easy. Okay, Wuji positions, please. Your head is upright, your shoulders are relaxed and rounded forward. Tuck your tailbone, bend your knees, check to see that your feet are close together with all your toes pointed forward. Your left hand becomes a willow palm, right hand becomes a fist. Left foot is put forward in a point step, no weight on it, and the heel is off the floor. Fold your left hand over the right fist. Keep your eyes up as you bow. We're done. Thanks for your time, everybody. Hope to see you next week, same time, same place.